someone that has been part of those, those sounds of your life, your whole life, that has always been around in the soundtrack of your life? Who is that?
Carla Morrison.
Who are we going to invite to the stage?
Oh, Carla Morrison.
Carla Morrison. Woo! Carlita, vente aquí, mano.
Hi.
Qué emoción tenerte acá. Sabes que it's been a dream of mine to have you be part of We All Grow since I think the very first We All Grow. And now we made it happen. So I just wanted to acknowledge that moment of making dreams come true.
Thank you.
So we're not going to take much time because we're gonna introduce right now Ashley. We're going to introduce Ashley Frangi and Leti Sahagún, who are the hosts of the Se Regalan Dudas podcast, one of the most popular Spanish language podcasts. And they're going to take the stage right now with Carla to have a conversation. And we will see you backstage. We're just happy. We just wanted to be the ones to say hi. Saludarte.
And should I sit anywhere?
Yeah, go ahead and sit. Ash and Fred. Ashley, Leti, please join us on stage. Siéntate en medio. Perdón.
Gracias.
This is my dream of Britney Spears. Like, when you're 16, all I wanted was this mic. Now I got it. 15 years after, but I got it.
Hola, Carla.
Ya te saludé, pero te vuelvo a saludar.
Si vieran cómo nos abrazamos allá atrás, porque resulta que ella es fan de Se Regalan Dudas, pero Se Regalan Dudas es hiper fan de Carla. Entonces le decíamos, te amamos. Y ella, pero yo las amo. No, nosotras te amamos.
I know, so excited to have you here to have very important conversations.
Yes. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for everything, this beautiful event, the party yesterday, the organizers, the fact that we're here as Latinas. It just makes us so proud. Ash's been living here in the U.S. for like 7 years. I moved 2 years ago.
15 years.
And she kept on telling me like how complicated it sometimes is to feel like you don't belong here or there, to mix. You have no idea all the not beautiful feedback we get in the podcast whenever we use words in English. And sometimes we're like, we can't help it. Like it's, we're between here and there. We're listening to both languages. We're between the two cultures. Sometimes it's just very complicated to stay in one side or the other. But we just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you to Ana, to Pau, to everyone. That you've been so beautiful. And we feel blessed to be here with such a special guest. I'm such a big fan. One of your songs I dedicated to my ex, so that one I'm going to put away. But everything else, I'm excited for.
Besides that one thing.
Besides that one thing, I love you. Well, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Se Regalan Dudas podcast. Well, thank you. If you've never heard about it, we started a podcast 4 years ago. We've been best friends for like 20 years, and we never understood why growing up we had no information. And I know you as Latinas, Latinx are gonna completely relate. There were very important subjects and topics that we needed to understand as teenagers and as just women growing up, and nobody at home spoke about those things. So we had to either find out through friends or just through life or just grow up however we could and just here and there. And we wanted to create a safe space where we could actually ask all these questions and all of these complicated conversations that are much needed in order to, empower ourselves in so many ways. So that's how we created Se Regalan Dudas. It's hard conversations, but important ones. With experts, with friends, we talk about many things. And we got the invitation to talk with one of our favorite singers about mental health, which is one of the cores of our podcast. So with that said, thank you, Carla. We're so excited to be here. Welcome to this beautiful discussion.
Thank you so much. No, I'm super happy because like they said, soy super fan. I love that you guys bring awareness to sensitivity and to being able to ask questions without feeling stupid. You know, when you ask a question, you're like, well, everybody knows that, but I have no idea. Because for many of us, life is new. We're still discovering life. So to hear subjects, and then when I read your guys' book, I was like, oh, this is so nice to my heart. Because it just feels so refreshing, and also being led by two beautiful women, smart and just Mexicanas. Like, it just feels so good. So thank you. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I think one of the first questions that I want to ask you is, what has been the role of anxiety in your music career? What have you learned from it? I think over the last few years, I've dedicated a lot of time to understand my emotions. Like you said, growing up, I just questioned my entire existence as I was a little girl. Like, I didn't understand. Today, someone asked me a question, and I was like, being a child for me was so confusing because I had no answers and I didn't understand what was going on. So anxiety has played a big role in my life, has been my companion my entire life. Like, I don't remember life without it. And now as I've grown older, it's taught me a lot of things. So I wanted to ask you, like, what has been like anxiety in your life and in your music career, and what have you learned from it?
Well, at first, anxiety to me was like my enemy because I hated that it stopped me on my tracks, and it made me feel very existential and just very afraid and scared, and I didn't know. I've had anxiety since I was 9 because when I was 9, I realized that my cousin had abused me sexually. It just came to my mind like, oh, this happened. And so I started to have a lot of anxiety. I didn't know it was called anxiety. I just knew it was a lot of fear. And then little by little, I started to look for help. And so anxiety at first was my enemy, but then it became like my mental health checkup. Like whenever I was gonna make a big decision, I felt like anxiety would because the other day I was in therapy, and my therapist told me something that made so much sense, that she said, when we have anxious thoughts, we think, oh, no, I'm just scared, and oh, no, I'm just worried, I haven't slept too much. But then you start to get tense, and then your back hurts, and then you can't sleep. And then your body's telling you, hey,
There's something
we gotta talk about, and you don't wanna talk about it.
You're like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, so she said when your body starts to send you alerts, that's when you pay attention, and you say, oh, wait. So I feel like anxiety has become like my friend in a way, even though I don't like it and I hate it. I feel like it has told me, hey, you need to stop looking so much to Instagram. You need to stop consuming so many things. You need to start making time for my dogs or my hobbies. So it's played a big role also because I'm still an independent artist till this day. And I feel like it has helped me. It has helped me to stay on track and be true to myself, and not just give in because I want the easy way out. Because at the end of the day, being independent is hard, and it's a lifestyle. It's not just, I'm not gonna sign to a big label. It's really the way you kind of carry yourself through life. So I feel like anxiety has helped me to really reflect on my decisions and lead with my heart instead of with whatever is better for money or anything like that.
And also what people suggest, no? They're like, oh, you should do this. And it's like, no, this is the way I want to do it.
Exactly.
Talking about that, I would love to go on to, because I know not everyone here probably does music or podcasts, but there's certain things in which we all can relate. How do you, with this creative vision that I know you have for your project, for your music, how do you maintain all your desires in a world where sometimes it's screaming all the contrary, right? And you see that something's trending, or you see that someone's doing amazing and they're probably doing something completely different, or you have all these suggestions, like Ashley said. And I feel like we all can relate no matter what it is we do. If we are mothers, if we have a business, if we do this or that, there's always people doing it differently, always people saying what you should say. And yes, you have this intuition and this inner voice telling you, no, this is what you want, but it's difficult to be loyal to yourself in a world that every day tells you to do the contrary. How do you keep authentic and aligned to your own vision?
I think one of the things that helps me, well, I think it's various things. One is that I've always been a rebel. My mom would totally agree with that.
Would hate me.
No, my mom would always be like, "Ay, esta pinche chamaca," like just like bien independiente. But
My
ever
mom
since,
always says to me, "Do you really have to do it?" I'm like, I do. When I talk about abortion and like social media and like reproductive rights, my mom's like, "Do you really have to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, I have to."
My mom asks me, ¿por qué no puedes aceptar un no? Te estoy diciendo que no porque soy tu mamá. Y yo, like, what is the reasoning behind that thing that you just said? No porque soy tu mamá.
What does that mean?
and I feel like my
Let me
mom,
ask you some questions, mother. Sit down.
yeah, no, my mom would always tell me, ¿por qué eres así? And she told me, when you were in my womb, yo sentía que me pegabas abajo. Y que ya quería salir. Ya estabas lista. Dijo, tanto, I thought you were a boy. And I was like, it's a chamaca, man. Like, what's going on? Dijo, and you came out, and I saw you, and I was like, I have to give you a strong name. Porque eres muy fuerte desde chiquita. But also, I feel like I've surrounded my team, like my team is all with people that really respect my vision and also respect my values as a person. Because before being an artist, I'm a person. Right. So I feel like you can't really do everything that you do based on money and being trendy and, you know, como, for example, TikTok. Everybody's on TikTok doing stupid shit. And then some of them are like dancing, and so I'm thinking, a ver, would I want my fans to see me dancing? I mean, sure, sí, en la peda, you know? Pero no sé si
carioquito.
I don't know if like, you know? So I thought, I know, I voy a hacer TikTok my own way. I'm gonna play the piano and I'm gonna sing and I'm gonna do what I know how to do. And I started doing that. That started going viral on my TikTok. Y funcionó. So I always follow my heart.
Me encanta que digas eso, porque just to share a little glimpse of Se Regalan Dudas creative process, we were already very big in all social media, and then TikTok started to happen. And we were so reluctant. Like, we had so much judgment, and I'm not proud of it, but I just kept watching all of this beautiful choreographies that I know I can never do. And
We
Ashley
tried.
also,
We tried.
because I know her like my own. And we were like, how
You
is
don't
Se
have to tell
Regalan
everyone
Dudas?
that I don't know how to dance.
I also put myself there. It was a combo. And I was like, how are we going to be loyal to the DNA that Se Regalan Dudas holds and still bring ourselves to this space that is important because it talks to Gen Zs, and we're in no platform that speaks to Gen Zs, right? And so we also had to do what you did. Like, how would Se Regalan Dudas live on TikTok? And we started creating content, not like the ones we were seeing. We haven't done a choreography yet. I don't know if we ever would. Would you?
We'll never. No, absolutely not.
Not even,
No, I cannot dance.
not even Bad Bunny?
No.
Titi me preguntó si tengo mucha novia.
I would like do this.
Mucha novia. Hoy tengo a
We
una,
went and saw him on
baila.
Saturday, and I was like part of his choreographers. I like literally felt alive, but no, I wouldn't do it on TikTok. I want to ask you about that, the importance of like surrounding, not only knowing your way, but like also surrounding yourself with people that like celebrate your ways. I think that has played like
Or that see you for who you are and not who they want you to be.
exactly. And like, I feel like as you grow older, you have to protect your circle literally with like nails and like your teeth, because we really are who we hang out with. Like, no one ever tells you that, but like, you do, like, we hang out with like these beautiful women. We didn't have this tribe before I moved to LA. And now I hang out with women that
Or growing up.
Never. And so, how do you select like your team, but also like the people you surround yourself with, and how do you defend and protect yourself?
I think it's something that I've done unconsciously, which is just hanging out with the people that I know are first and foremost people, normal people, not people that are just looking for me to have an interest or that see me as Carla Morrison, but see me as La Carlita, like just La Carlita.
doing music.
And so I feel like you need to know your why, and you also need to know, hace poquito I watched a movie, and it was funny because they would talk about, era una película española, pero decía como, no es tu por qué, es tu para qué.
Beautiful.
And so I feel like that's something that I feel like when I surround with these people, también yo soy mucho de vibras. I can tell when people are looking at me in a different way. And it's like, yeah, fuck off, you know, como que está bien. Pero I also see people for who they are. Y yo soy muy directa, porque no sé si es porque soy norteña o porque
Norteña.
O,
Las
porque
norteñas.
o por eso porque soy hija de la chingada, no sé. Pero soy muy directa, o sea, no tengo problema de ser neta. Entonces, when people are trying to sugarcoat me, it's like, I know, man, como no sé all that. Soy una persona normal.
I love that.
So I feel like when I surround como con gente que me ve y que yo los puedo ver también y saber para qué. Like, okay, te están pasando cosas trendy y uno quiere seguir sacando para la papa, pero ¿para qué quieres hacer eso? ¿Para qué quieres entrarle al TikTok? ¿O para qué quieres ser el número 1 y tener todas estas nominaciones y premios? ¿Para qué? O en realidad, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué parte de ti va a llenar?
¿Qué te va a dar?
Ajá, ¿quieres la atención de la gente because you feel like you deserve it, or is this another conversation in therapy you have to have, you know?
Is this for validation or is it because it feels...
Yeah.
Exacto, so you just have to be true. I feel like at the end of the day, antes de ser influencers y todas estas cosas, we're people.
Yeah.
And we forget about that.
I
Porque
love that.
pues todos queremos que nos validen, pero do you want people to validate you or do you want your people?
Your people.
You
Yeah.
know?
I want to ask you, what's your advice for women? And I think everyone here, we doubt ourselves. Like, I don't think you ever reach a point, or I haven't reached a point in my career, in my life, in my dating life, with my body, that I don't doubt my skills, my talents. Like, what's your advice with women that struggle with, like, standing on their own power or standing tall in, like, all these diverse industries where we sometimes have to, like, even trust ourselves more because no one else trusts
I think
in us?
for the longest time, I thought the guilt was outside of me, but you have to be responsible of yourself, and work hard on you. See, if you have doubts of being like, okay, tengo pena porque estoy curviosa, ¿no? Y no sé, pero al vato, o sea, mi esposo me dice, estás buenísima, you know? Y yo pensando, ay, es que aquí mi gordito, y el, ¿cuál gordito, güey? Esto, ¿no? Y yo, ay, cabrón. Entonces, ¿qué hago? You have to work on yourself. Y verdaderamente preguntarte, ¿de dónde viene ese, like, where is that fear or that doubt coming from? And why is it important to you to work on that, you know? Porque yes, you will have bad days when you're like, fuck, me veo bien fea. O yo, por ejemplo, que canto y digo, hoy canté súper mal y me bajo del escenario y mi banda me dice, pues para que cantes mal, cantas muy bien, ¿no? Pero yo les digo, no, hoy me desafiné tantas pinches veces, güey, y me encabrono. Y nadie se da cuenta, pero it's something that it will happen. También it's kind of not realistic to feel like you're never going to have those bad days, or you're never going to have those bad expectations from you. So it's just working on yourself and really getting to the root of where that's coming from.
¿No es cabrón eso? Yo lo voy a decir en español, perfeccionista en recuperación. I'm a perfectionist in recovery.
In rehab.
In rehab. And it's so interesting to understand how sometimes we are our own worst judges. Like, people from the outside are saying beautiful, like they're saying that you sing beautifully, that your body is the sexiest thing alive, that you're glowing, but inside yourself, like, this has happened to me. Like, I'm in the moment where I dreamed my entire life, you know, hosting the red carpet at the Oscars, interviewing someone that I've dreamed. And instead of at the end of the event being like, wow, you killed it, I'm like, one of the 2,000 words that you said live was wrong.
Was misspelled.
You know, like, you misspelled that word, or you didn't translate well English to Spanish. Like, they're gonna know. They're not gonna hire you next time. And it's like, why? And then I come out. So I'm telling this story because I wanna know, what are your tips when this happens? Like, what recommendations you can give when you're being very hard on yourself. One of the things that I've learned to do is, when this inner conversation is happening, either with work, either in a relationship, either in my personal life, instead of keeping it inside, because I know I'm gonna eat myself up alive, I take it out to someone that I really trust and that I know loves me. So I would go, for example, to Ashley, and I would be like, you know what my head is telling me right now? And she's like, what? And I'm like, that I said one word wrong in my entire red carpet. And she'll be like, dude, you killed it. You're at the fucking Oscars. You're doing everything amazing. Like, we're all so proud of you. What did you just say? And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for killing that inner voice that was telling me the only thing I didn't want to hear, you know? Yeah. So I want to know what both of you do when that happens, when you are saying harmful things, or when you're not believing in yourself, or when you're having a bad day.
I think for me, a lot has to be the idea that not everything you think is true. Because like, that was like, I thought my mind was like the creator and master of the universe, which it is, and sometimes, but I thought like every time I thought something, I'm like, okay, like everything, like I used to believe my mind so much. And now knowing that I have anxiety, knowing that I'm like resolving it and working it through therapy, that line of like, not everything you think is true.
So questioning yourself?
Yeah, like my partner's not gonna leave me just because I woke up one day with fear and anxiety of abandonment. He's amazing. He's like there and he's there for me. I'm not gonna lose Se Regalan Dudas because I said something. Like just understanding that like my mind is catastrophic and it's not the truth. And so like questioning those thoughts, a lot of journaling of those thoughts of like, okay, I have a fear. I feel like I'm gonna break up and never ever see this guy again. Is that true? Probably not. Like, and just to like
Byron Katie, what are her two first questions?
Is it true? Can you absolutely know it's true? Who would you be without the thought? Oof. And so like that.
So
like,
liberating.
So I think that to like actually be humble enough to know that not everything I think is the reality.
I think that, and also being compassionate with yourself también. And also not to think you're the shit. Porque I come out on shows and I'm thinking before, I'm gonna fall on my face, everybody's gonna record, oh my God, and I'm like going crazy, ¿no? Y lo digo, a ver, okay, soy una artista como de 20 millones ahorita dando un concierto. Get over yourself.
Que si desafino una nota.
Ajá,
O sea,
¿qué, güey? Me van a pagar igual, o sea. Como sometimes we have to not take everything so serious porque we think, oh my God, todos me están viendo y la cagué, ¿y qué, güey? ¿Y qué? O sea, sometimes we really think everybody cares. Nobody fucking cares.
It's you, it's your head.
No
It's
one
your
cares.
hair.
No one
Así
gives
no,
a shit.
es que me vio y la persona pensando en pan. O sea, ni al
una
caso.
concha,
La
en
persona
una
pensando, güey,
En
tengo
un
un chingo
elote.
de hambre así. Y tú me estaba viendo horrible. Pero tenía hambre el pendejo, ¿no?
Y él-
O sea,
Y el elote con chile del que pica o con chile del que no pica.
Yeah.
but I think that, like, trying to laugh at yourself and be compassionate, porque somos muy compasivos con nuestros amigos, no te preocupes, pero contigo eres como, güey, la cagué,
How
super
dare you.
cagué.
How dare you?
Ajá, and sometimes you just have to be nice, be your friend,
I love that.
you know?
I know you took some time off, and I think this topic is so close to my heart because as Se Regalan Dudas started growing and growing and growing, the time we take off is so limited, and also we have to fight for it. I mean, power managers around here, but we gotta fight for it. I'm like, I can't anymore, we gotta do this. And I think my best version is when I get to take some time off and then come back, right? So I wanted to talk to you about that. Like, what does that time, like, what did you learn, but also, how do you come out of it as you start again? You just told us you're going on tour to South America. Like, what do you still keep from those moments that you were like by yourself and like taking a moment?
Well, I think that when I took that time, it was really because, like I said before, being an artist or a songwriter or whatever the heck you guys think I am a person. And if I'm not okay, si yo no estoy bien, no hay show, no hay nada.
I know.
So I feel like to prioritize my life is what I learned in that time, and that will never change. That will never change because I have, si yo no me cuido, nadie lo va a hacer. So entonces, how do I, like, what did I keep from that was like that I have to prioritize whatever I feel, my time, whatever I need, lo que sea que me haga sentir bien, porque yo soy lo más importante para mí. And how do I come back to it? The other day, I've been having a couple of nights where I couldn't sleep porque tenía mucha ansiedad, porque tuve unos problemas familiares y estaba muy preocupada. Y le dije a mi equipo, you know what? I can't sleep. I need some time off. I'm probably not going to be able to do this that we were planning to do because I don't feel okay. And I need to go get some ketamine infusions. I need to go to my meditation class. I need to do whatever I need to do to just feel better. And they said, okay, it's okay. And I think communication is always like really communicate with your team and say, I don't feel happy. I don't feel happy when you tell me that I have to do this or I have to say hi this. I don't feel happy when I feel like a product. I don't feel like, even though my team has never treated me that way, pero communication and always like have that in my mind that yo soy lo más importante para mí. Y no puedo esperarme a que ni siquiera mi esposo me cuide. Ni nada. Yo tengo que hacer el tiempo y yo tengo que priorizarme porque nadie lo va a hacer. And I know it's hard because we're women and we tend to take care of our tribe and we want to be like there for everyone. Pero llega un punto donde then you stop sleeping, then you stop, and then you're like, okay.
Here we are again. No? For me, it's always like, fuck. I thought I learned the lesson. Like, here I go again of like self-care, self-love, and it's like to fight to like take those lessons, stretch them out through time. Because then I feel it's like it comes and goes, like a little bit like that.
And we are living in a world that tells you if you're not being productive, you're worthless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the other day.
So whenever you want to take a break or a day off or a week or a year off, no one tells you this, but inside yourself you're like, everyone's gonna be 10 years ahead in this day that you gave yourself.
That's Saturday.
Like everyone's gonna finish the marathon, and you're gonna be back in 1999.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The other day I woke up and I said, okay, I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna do a little prayer. I take care of all my plants with time and care.
Love that.
I did something at home. I had my lunch, and I was like, wow, I wasn't pressuring myself to write anything, do any story, play any piano, nada. I just dedicated my whole morning, like 5 hours, fully to me. And I did it because I wanted to listen to my heart. Y dije, that's it. Es lo de afuera que me dice, no, tienes que ser productiva porque everybody's doing that, you know? It's like, al día de mañana te mueres y la gente sigue chingando y tú ya te moriste. Entonces, o te pones las pilas,
o te mueres feliz, o te mueres miserable.
Exacto.
La gente sigue. Yeah.
Total.
Definitely. Just to add to that, I once was talking to a person, and I was saying, because she asked for a book recommendation, and I was like, a novel. She wanted me to recommend a novel because back in the day I used to recommend novels to her because that's my favorite thing to read, and that's the way in which I disconnect from the productivity world and immerse in a whole world where I don't have to think. I just have to enjoy. So that's something that I love. And she asked me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't give you any recommendations. I haven't read a novel in the past 2-3 years. She was like, what do you mean? You love novels? And I was like, yeah, every single book I've been reading recently is also working. Because in a way, I'm reading something to get inspiration for the podcast, or to do benchmarking on what we're doing, or to get ideas of our new guests, or for our book club, but everything is work related. And she said, if you're always doing, not only when reading, when listening to things, if you're always doing, when are you being? And that question just threw me off, because I was like, even when I think I'm listening to a podcast, even when I think I'm reading, even when I think I'm taking my time, it's all productivity related. I am not giving myself any free time or space just to be. Yeah, that's just something I wanted to say. Just something I wanted to
we're going
add.
to leave you with that now. I have another question for you. As
you navigate the world with like so many things you want to do, right? We want to be wives and sisters and friends and work friends and everything in like, I feel like as I've grown older, I've like acquired more titles, right? So now I'm Ashley de Se Regalan Dudas y luego soy hermana de amigas en México, pero hermana de amigas en Estados Unidos. And I just like keep like,
Cat lady.
yeah, and I'm a cat lady and a like plant lady. So like all these titles, like how have you decided, how do you prioritize your time? Like how do you, and I think that that has been like the key to my happiness the last year, which has been like, this girl that came to the podcast says, does your calendar match your priorities? And I was like, no, it doesn't. Like my priority number one in my life is to be a great friend, a great sister. Like I love my siblings, and I'm like, I rarely hang out with them. Like when was the last time I took a vacation with like both of my siblings? Years. And so for me, it was like the change of like, does this horrifying Google Calendar match my priorities in my heart? So how have you done that to like prioritize what's like the most important thing for you? And I would like both to respond.
I mean, I think it's always hard because it changes all the time. But lately, I've been doing something where it's like block schedule, blocking. Instead of looking at my schedule as hourly, I look at it as in blocks. And so I try to put whatever's more important in the first part of my day. And I also try to prioritize times with my husband and with my perritos and my mom and my family. But it's always a work in progress. And I know that people say, well, es que tú eres famosa y you have everything. And it's like, no, yo lavo toda mi ropa, yo la doblo, yo hago todo.
Yo saco al perro pasear.
Yo saco al pinche perro a pasear, me está viendo con cara de esta pendeja. Vámonos, son las 11.
Ellos no saben que tú eres Carla Morrison.
No. Ellos
You're
no
just
saben.
the girl that gives him food. That's it.
Yeah.
And mom.
And I have to really prioritize, but I can see that when I do that, everybody's, mis perritos están más contentos. I feel more happy. So I guess what I try to prioritize is como el love, Try to lead with love and compassion and patience. Porque también queremos ir tan rápido que no somos pacientes con la gente, con nuestros amigos, y ser comprensivo, empathetic, I feel.
Yeah.
Because de repente some friend no te responde y tú, ay, no te importo, pero everybody's dealing with things, you know, and you have to just be compassionate and empathetic and just be understanding. So I guess to lead anything that you're doing in life, and even your schedule that's crazy, just lead it with love, primerito.
I love that.
For me, and you know it because you're my business partner, for me, it's about boundaries. I've shared this before in the podcast, but for a few years, I was only focused on my professional life, and I was thankfully able to achieve whatever it is that I imagined and dreamed of. But when I got there, it felt very empty because I had no balance in my personal life whatsoever. I was only obsessed with what I wanted to do professionally, and that was a big moment in my life where I knew I had to move things up. And so what I do now, I know that Se Regalan Dudas could be maybe twice or 3 times bigger than it is today, but I am not willing to give any minutes of the important things that are personal to me. I'm not gonna miss my sister's wedding. I'm not gonna miss my parents' anniversary. I am not gonna miss Christmas. I'm not gonna miss a dinner with my best friends, because I did it for 10 years and it took a very big toll in my life. So boundaries, no is no, even if it's, no, but they're paying blah, 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 blah. No, but you're gonna be with blah, 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 blah. No, but it's this big opportunity. Yeah, let's hope that in 6 months there's another big opportunity. But missing my personal life, it's not worth my professional life any longer.
Yeah, because we work for time.
Yeah.
And that time, you know you can use it for whatever. That morning that I spent slow living, I was like, para esto me parto la madre. Para esto me voy y me desvelo y jodida ando porque me voy esta mañana y este día todo para mí.
Bello.
No, uno no trabaja para cosas, uno trabaja para tener tiempo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carla. Hermosa. Gracias.
We're gonna record an episode with Carla soon, so you better listen.
If you guys want to listen to our podcast, we created a playlist just for you guys. It's serregalandudas.com/diagonal We All Grow Latina, and we put our best episodes there for you guys.
And also, sorry, last thing. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a beautiful truck outside that sells books that are only supporting Latina women. It's a beautiful project. And we have a book called Se Regalan Dudas, that is the one that Carla talked about, and it's selling there. We left all the copies signed. In case you're interested, it's gonna be out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.